Hello, this is Spider Down of the Secret Boars here with Mike of Genuine Chit-Chat at Forbidden Worlds Film Festival 2026, and we're talking about Christoph Gans's Brotherhood of the Wolf from 2001.
So this is the director's cut. So there are actually 3 different cuts of this movie. Now, I'd never heard of this movie before, but we'll get into it. There's a lot of vibes.
We will.
A lot of vibes, and it seemingly inspired quite a bit of the FromSoft game Bloodborne, which I finished a couple of months ago. Very vibey, very much. So there's 3 cuts of this film. We watched the director's cut. It's about 152 minutes long. The original French cut was about 142 minutes long, so 10 minutes difference. And then oddly, the UK cut, and seemingly the cut released in a lot of other places in the world, was around 140 minutes. But there's a whole segment which is in the French and the director's cut that wasn't in the original UK cut, but little bits from the director's cut are in the UK cut. So there's basically director's cut is everything, and the French cut has got certain random scenes taken out, and seemingly the UK cut has got one chunk storyline taken out, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And also this film in French is called Le Pacte des Loups.
Yeah.
Well, loop.
Yeah.
So Le Pacte des Loups.
Yeah, so
The Brotherhood of the Wolf.
yeah,
Yes.
pretty straightforward.
So-
Transmission.
Yeah. So you'd seen this film before, haven't
I
you?
had it on DVD. It was one of the films I bought a ton of films from Kex when I started the podcast because I just wanted a random selection of stuff.
For American listeners, it's CEX Computer
Yes.
Exchange is not stands.
Not a sex shop or a sex dungeon.
You buy pre-owned DVDs and movies and games and stuff.
Yeah,
like
but that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, so very cheap. £2.50. So I got that. Heard good things. Mark Dacascos is a really good martial artist actor that I like. He's been in a few things like Crime Furyman, also directed by Christoph Gans, which I really like as well, which I may have bought at the same time. I can't remember. But yes, I saw it. It was one of these, like when I saw Assault on Precinct 13, it was one that I kind of wasn't really into at the time, or I was struggling to pay attention, or I just wasn't feeling it, wasn't the vibe, whatever. But then when I saw Assault from Precinct 13 here, it was mind-blowing, like to see
big IMAX screen,
audience
crowd.
Yeah, it was a different energy. So I was kind of hoping it was going to be the same for Brotherhood of the Wolf. I do think I enjoyed it more this time round, but I think the same issues I have with it are still the same issues that I think like both of us share with it. I think.
Yeah, we're both on a similar page with this one. I think I just enjoyed it quite a bit more.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's definitely not a perfect film.
Yeah.
I think the cast, though,
Yeah.
like star-studded cast. You're much better with cast names than me.
Yes.
There's the French chap who's in Trance.
Yes, Vincent Cassel.
Who always plays a baddie.
Yeah. I mean, just look at him. Just look at him. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he does have the vibe.
Yeah,
he does have the bad guy.
and he's got that disgusted. He's got a good disgusted face.
He
like
is.
everyone he looks at, I'm like, I find him disgusted.
better than you.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
He does that. He nails it.
And as you said, like, is it Mug DaCosta? He was great as well. He was a real standout. And then some of the other acts I wasn't as fussed by, but obviously is Monica Bellucci,
Yeah,
Rhino
absolutely.
from Matrix.
I was very fussed by her.
It does play a lady of the night wearing a corset, and sometimes playing nothing, or wearing nothing,
Yeah.
which because seemingly that's quite common for her.
Yes.
But I've not seen a lot of her movies. I mainly saw her in Matrix Reloaded, and I was like, oh, she's quite attractive. And I saw her in this film, and I was like, I can see why she's a popular lady of the night in this movie.
Again, Mike, I may have seen a few more of her films in the So
You've seen a lot more films in general than I have.
Yeah, true, but yeah, not specifically her films. But I have seen a lot more of the ones she's featured in. But yes.
But so the film in general, there's about 4 or 5 genres going on. It's too crab packed. And when I heard it was director's cut and it was 2.5 hours, I was like, wow, the theatrical cut must be like 2 hours long. It's not. It's like 10 minutes different. I think if this film was 2 hours, genuinely it would be up there with amidst my maybe top 100 films. Not quite top 10 or anything, but like it would be a film I'd be like, everyone should watch this. It's great.
Yeah.
But it's so bloated.
Yeah,
it's so bloated. And the problem is there's a part about 2/3 through and it feels like the film's wrapping up and there's a whole nother act. And I think the thing is for me with this film as well is like it's quite hard to recommend to someone.
Yeah,
Very different. The review we just recorded was Pathfinder. It's very straightforward, very easygoing. Ladyhawke, very straightforward, very easygoing. This film is so all over the place in so many ways, and there's so much right, but it doesn't do so much like wrong.
Yeah.
There's just plot lines that are either kind of inconsequential or kind of boring.
Yeah. So let's talk about the kind of things it's trying to be.
Are you going to try and explain the plot?
I'll try my best. So it is based on some historical facts.
Yes.
There was a beast of what was the town? Was it Goudesvord or something like that? Or
I can't remember.
Gouvesvord, whatever. French town. There was a beast. There was several killings over several years. Never figured out what it was particularly. Apparently, it was killed. They never really knew. Was it a big wolf? Was it a bear? Was it a combination of the two?
A bear wolf.
A bear wolf. Yes, could be. Could be. Was it a lion? Perhaps. I think it's implied somewhat that may have been a lion in this film, but again, we don't know if that's historical fact because there's a lot of fiction in this as well.
Yeah, there's real people in this. Yeah, there's also completely
and there's a historical framing device. And part of me was like, maybe I might get a bit more about this or more into this if I knew the French history maybe a bit more, because it is a period drama. It is a monster movie. It is a almost Hounds of the Baskerville type mystery. It is
mystery, horror, period drama, and romance.
Yes. It's a martial arts movie.
It is. It's got 5 martial arts scenes in it.
Yeah. It's got indigenous Native American characters.
Social commentary on that.
Some social commentary on that. It's got political, social commentary on the church and the state and what's going on.
And also, it's all in French.
Corruption.
We say it's a French film. It's all in French with subtitles, just to clarify.
There's a lot going on, and and some of them go off in interesting directions. Some of them kind of go nowhere. Some of them circle back round. Again, I didn't dislike the film. I just wanted to like it more than I do. I think, which is
I think that I would really recommend it. This film, it's a film people should watch. It's something people should experience.
Very stylish.
I think it's like the 6th highest grossing French film.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was 2001, so it was the newest, most modern film at Forbidden Worlds 2026, because most of the films from the 80s and this year. But it's a vibe movie. More than anything, it's got great vibes, and it's really cool, and it's got so many cool parts to it. And if someone said to me, this is one of their favorite films, I'd be like, I understand. It's almost there for me. But I think we discussed it, and we won't go into the exact specifics. We will talk about the entire plot. No. But like, I think there's like 2 whole storylines you could just take right out, and that one of them is the one where this hunter comes in. It's not in the UK cut. No. The non-director's UK cut, that 10 minutes is gone. Yeah. I think that should have been taken out completely. There's a wild woman in it. She shouldn't be in it. All her plotline is nothing. Yeah. And then there's 1 or 2 other scenes that don't really go anywhere. And I think if you did that and tweaks part of the ending, which we'll get to in a little bit, those bits, I think you'd have a really tight, great 2-hour genre blend movie. Yeah. And I just think this is too much movie.
Yeah. And I feel like those action sequences, like you said, the slow-mo, the choreography are amazing. Yes. I really like it. But there's too large a gap in between each of them for me.
Completely.
You need to kind of condense those sections between them to kind of keep us in the loop. Because again, if it was an action movie, those action scenes would be happening more often. But then it's a costume drama for a long period. And then it's, and again, all the stuff it's saying I'm really into and I like and I appreciate the political and social commentary, the criticism of the church, the criticism of, Louis the 15th, 14th, whoever was in charge of France at the time. Yeah. The seemingly oncoming revolution, one of several revolutions in France. There is some interesting stuff in here, but it doesn't, it's not a streamline like Pathfinder. It's very streamlined, very straightforward. This is kind of just like, woo, where are we going?
Yeah, this really needs a different edit.
Yeah,
I think this would need the succinct cut.
Yeah, to
be honest with you. And I sit down. I was like, if I had more time and more skill, I genuinely would try and edit this down and take out 25 minutes from it. And I genuinely, there's so many parts of this film I love, and I think it really is. The action scenes, as you say, especially everything in Mark DaCosta's every time he's on screen for anything,
those kicks are flying, spinning.
They're amazing.
You've never seen roundhouse kicks like.
And even his quiet moments, he's very funny in the right way, subtle, and like proving the kind of a lot of the French aristocrats are like really racist,
snobby,
because he plays a Native American, and there's a few conversations about that, and he does that really well, even though we don't. I think he's Hawaiian, but regardless, it's still. there's
it's casting of its time,
Yeah,
which was again 26 years ago. Yeah.
At least it wasn't a white man. Yeah, at least.
Yep, but that
nearer.
I mean, there's something a little later which could, you could argue there's something going on that's kind of somewhat similar, but
maybe
no spoilers for that. No. But I think what you said as well is you compared it to Excalibur when you said when a certain character goes, when they disappear from the film, it absolutely tanks and it gets really slow. And again, still some cool stuff in that last hour.
Yeah,
but it does really just go.
It's really the monster stuff.
The balloon is let go of.
The monster stuff and everything involving the Native American stuff, those bits, which make up probably in total about an hour or so on screen of the monster or the character of Manny.
Yeah.
They're both put together, an hour, maybe a bit more than an hour put together. That is golden. Absolutely golden. Then about half an hour to 40 minutes of stuff around it would be really great. I think everything in the whorehouse, with pretty much everything with Monica Bellucci, she's great in it, especially towards the end of the film. She's really interesting.
It's a really good, interesting kind of wrinkle to the story as well.
I agree.
And again, like what we find out about Monica Bellucci is also very interesting. But again, no spoilers for that. But
and all of that stuff is good.
A lot of intrigue.
And who's the chap who's always evil?
Vincent Cassel,
Vincent Cassel, I think almost all of his storyline could stay. There is a scene where he does, unfortunately, trigger warning, he sexually assaults his sister.
Yeah. More incest.
Yeah, a food world. Almost every film.
More wolves, more incest.
Horses, and incest. Seems to be quite common.
Yeah.
That scene.
Criticism of the church as well. That's been quite a common one. Or the rise of the church.
Yes, definitely. But I think that scene in particular, it wasn't overly graphic, but it did go on a while. It didn't seem necessary.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think everything he was on screen was great.
He was great.
It was really like there's a core cast of like 5 or 6 characters, and pretty much everything with them on screen for the most part. He's not the main guy because he's like every scene. The main 5 characters, apart from the main guy, pretty much everything with them should be on there. There's just a few side adventures that just they do this and then just loop back into the plot. So they could have just been completely cut out.
Yeah.
And that's when
and I think thinking about when it came out as well, we're looking at, Fellowship of the Ring was out the same year.
Yeah, and Post-Matrix.
Post-Matrix. So the French film, like this is quite ambitious for a French film.
Oh, very
like it is. And again, would it have worked if it was entirely a period drama? Maybe. Would it have worked if it was a concise action film? But I think that they're throwing everything in there and seeing what sticks. And unfortunately, if it was more of a streamlined narrative, and they had a better sense or a better idea of what they wanted to say and do, and the genre they wanted to stick to, then I think I would be rating it far more higher and not be like kind of on the fence about it and the way I feel about it. Because again, this is my second time watching it. Again, I enjoyed it more because I could really, embrace it and engage with it, on a massive screen and seeing all the wonderful stuff that they show. It's really stylish, really well edited, it's slick. But then I think it's the narrative choices more so that is the issue for me. I think the filmmaking is fantastic, looks good. Christoph Gans is kind of most famous for directing a lot of the Silent Hill movies, like at least 2 of them. And I think it looks great. Like visually, it's very.
He uses rain very well.
Yes,
the weather and the rain and the dark scenes are really good.
The costuming is incredible as well.
The costuming, phenomenal.
Absolutely.
I think this film is trying to be 5 genres, and it really should be 2 to 3.
Absolutely.
And that's really the core problem. And then there's a bit where you think, we won't spoil it, but you think, oh, this is the big bad. This is where it's going to end. Here's the end of it. And then it goes, oh no, here's another 30 odd minutes. Of basically just kind of getting the main character to basically go all the way back and just do it all again, kind of. And in that way, it feels kind of video gamey.
Yeah,
but we're not playing a video game. We're watching a movie.
Yeah, Bloodborne.
Well, yeah, exactly. There's a very, very, very cool sword towards the end, which is very similar to the threaded cane weapon, which is the exact weapon I used for the entirety of my Bloodborne run. So many people watching this are going to be going, I know what the fuck you're talking about. Up to Bloodborne people. But I think that, I feel like this is funny.
The hats, haven't they?
Yeah, the triangle hats.
High collar.
The outfits as well, very Bloodborne. And also the main monster, which we won't specifically spoil, but the main monster thing, there's beasts very similar to that in Bloodborne. And also the fake monster that's only in the director's cut bit. There's also stuff very similar to that in Bloodborne. So I think this definitely influenced Bloodborne.
Yeah, I think as well, I think you could cherry pick scenes out of this in isolation and go, what an amazing scene.
I completely agree.
Like the fight scenes or some of the costume drama stuff or like just some of the other kind of general, like the wonderful like transitions as well. Like there's that very erotic one where Monica Bellucci's breasts turn into like snow-capped mountains.
She's like laying on the bed, and the camera goes up her body, and then her boob does.
Ty was like, "Watch out for the sexy transition, you'll see it." And I was like, "Oh, I remember this now." Yeah, but yeah, I like it, and I think it's well made. But I think it's just the narrative and scripting choices and the decisions on the cuts. I think the producers probably should have stepped in a bit more, which is very rare for me to say.
I agree.
I think they should have gone, I think this can go. I think this could go. I don't think we need this. I don't think we need this framing device. I don't think we need this.
The framing device was pointless.
Yeah.
I forgot he's even a thing.
It's
a tiny bit at the start, then not the last scene, but the second to last scene. And then there's a scene after it.
I think what it does is I think you hear him narrate as his younger self during the adventure. Yeah. So it's from his perspective.
But you don't need sometimes when there's a narrator, you don't need to watch a scene of the narrator in a fucking chair narrating it.
But also that's the problem with some of these films that do that, is that character is not there for everything. So why is he narrating things he doesn't know or has seen or experienced?
Well, that's the thing, and it is a bit uneven. Just have someone else be the narrator, and then it'd just be like, this is a movie, there's a narrator, deal with it. And I'm fine with films with narrators.
And I think he says like, I'm an unreliable narrator. I think there was a line about him being an unreliable narrator. Even then, I could be making that up. But
I wrote basically, the acting is good. It's a complex movie, but it's just a bit too tangled. It ties itself into knots a bit much. And my biggest issue here is there's friends of mine who really like Bloodborne, but I can't recommend this to people unless they're really filmy people.
Yes.
Because you really have to go. This isn't a film you could just show anyone and they'll be on board. They have to want to watch it. But also, I didn't know anything going in, but I'm quite open-minded to most things.
Yeah.
But if you said to me, like, what mood would I have to be in to watch this? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's not horror-y enough. It's not action-y enough. It's not romance-y enough. And so it's kind of one of those films where, because it kind of is so between so many things, I don't know what mood I would be in. Even though I really enjoyed this movie and I would really recommend it, I don't know who I'd show it to.
Yeah, and because if you went, oh, do you like period dramas? This you wouldn't recommend to someone who like period.
If you like Downton Abbey and Bridgerton, this is.
Do you like monster movies?
Yeah,
I wouldn't really recommend this to someone who likes monster.
So action. Do you like kung fu movies? I wouldn't recommend, because the kung fu's only like 4 scenes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You're like you whoever you were recommended it to, they would ultimately be disappointed if you said this is the genre this is.
100%. That's a very good way.
Yeah.
Very good.
So and I think that's its problem. Again, very interesting film, very unique.
So glad I watched it.
Yes, I'm glad I rewatched it. And it was one I was kind of like, I'm going in, but I feel like I'm not sure about this. And I was like, yeah, okay, it still kind of has the same problems, but I engage with it so much more.
Visuals and vibes are definitely the peaks of
yes, absolutely. Yes, it is style over substance, but even the substance is still fairly interesting. It's just the way the substance. Yeah, exactly. The substance is delivered. It's been kind of like, again, we've lost something.
There's 120% of a movie here, and we need only 100%. Yeah. But really, really good. And if you're a film buff listening to this and you have not seen Brotherhood of the Wolf,
it's intriguing and it's interesting.
It's different,
but know what you're going in for.
It's flawed.
Yeah,
and it is. I feel like this could really do. I said to you, I was like, if I ever showed my wife Megan this, I couldn't show in one go.
No.
I'd have to show in 3 like 45-ish minute chunks.
And you know what she said? You're like, is this the same film?
Yeah.
We watched it the hour of yesterday. Yeah, this is the same film.
Yeah, we're still going.
Yeah, we're still going. Totally different genre.
Yeah, especially that last third.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's more or less everything I want to say about Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Yeah.
But again, thanks to Food Mods Film Festival for putting this on. It's a really great choice. Really one of the highlights for me. I'm really, really glad I watched it. Quite different to the other films of this weekend, which I'm really happy with as well.
Even though we have actively compared it to some of the other stuff.
Yes, but it's fantasy,
unique.
but it's
there's a lot of similarities within these films and themes that are revisited, but they are still quite different from each.
It's not sword and sorcery.
No,
it's very much not that.
No.
But it is, and it's
Or
very.
Is it?
Well,
while being all the other ones.
Yeah, I think this film is probably one of the more grounded.
Yes,
it feels like, because it's about a folklore and a thing that really happened in France, the vast majority of it is like, this is very
it's like a horror film that goes, oh, this actually happened, this is a true story.
Exactly.
Even though it's not really.
Yeah, it's like loosely based on a true story, but the actual, it's like, this could have actually happened, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say Forbidden Worlds Film Festival 2026. We are tackling more or less every film that has been there, and it's been really great fun so far. And as we always say at the end of these, if this is your first time, make sure you subscribe to Genuine Chit-Chat and also Spider and the Secret Boars on both YouTube for all the video stuff and the clips there, and on any audio feed on any podcast feed that you're listening on. It's all the audio stuff, and then on social media on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. That's where all the clips are being posted.
Absolutely. And if you haven't already, go over to Forbidden Worlds. Go on their social media, go on their website, sign up to their YouTube. They're on everything.
And the newsletter and stuff like that.
And we're always sharing their stuff and reposting it as well.
And if you liked our coverage,
tagging them, yes,
please tell them. If you're enjoying our coverage, because we are part of the press team.
If we've convinced you to come for 2027 or to the big screen in 2026, tell us.
Or to watch. Ty would be so happy to know that if we have helped convince anyone, watch any of the films we've tackled. So please do that, and obviously check out all our coverage of Forbidden Worlds Film Festival 2025, which is Jaws exploitation, a lot of watery stuff. And we tackled more or less every film from that year as well in a very similar format. So, friends, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we really appreciate you, and we will speak to you very soon. Oh, I didn't expect that.